It's been a tough day, big time mentally for me. Say the absolute least, everyone. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our show, Nola, Mr. Lucas, WWE NXT May 20th, 2025 review. Today be May 22nd, 2025, your Thursday as well. And by the way, I'm not going to discuss what's been bothering me ever since last night. It's been last night going into today. It's been bothering me mentally. But I can tell you because it's personal to me. It's personal to me and myself in general. Let's get right to your NXT review, shall we? Because I'm going to also upload and everything. Plus, we're going to discuss your NXT WWE Battleground 2025 preview predictions on this very podcast. We'll discuss at the top of the show. This NXT was kind of boring. It was very freaking boring, in all honesty. We're going to discuss a lot of things at NXT in this very podcast. I'll be honest. I apologize for not having your NXT review for May 20th, 2025 review yesterday. Being Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. So a lot of stuff to do, and like I said, mentally, I'm at an all-time motherfucking low, honestly, man. It sucks, but what do you want me to say, people? What do you want me to fucking say? What else do you want me to say at least? Before I get started also today, this first match at NXT, I would correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section on YouTube or on Spotify. Shawn Legacy is a new guy for NXT, for a wrestler for NXT. He defeated Ashante the Adonis and Adonis to start the show. And if I believe it's for the NXT North American Championship non-contenders match with Ricky Sainz. I don't know if that was announced for Battleground or not. I don't know. Please let me know if that in the comments section on YouTube, wherever your podcast on Spotify, if that indeed is true. The Shawn Legacy he obviously won number contendership for Ricky Sainz, the NXT North American Championship. But I'm not sure if the match is taking place at Battleground or not. So I'm not totally sure yet. That's why I'm not going to discuss it quite yet. But obviously, if I am, you probably have Ricky Sainz retain that championship anyways. A spoiler to say at least. We're going to discuss that. Shawn Legacy defeats Ashante the Adonis and Javon Evans to start the show. And get a number one contendership for the NXT North American Championship. As a freaking voice crack, go figure. We'll be discussing Shawn Spears defeats Josh Briggs. Boring match. You also see OTM defeating Chase U. Another boring match. And Oba Femi and Myles Borne have one last confrontation before their upcoming NXT Championship match at Battleground. We'll discuss that. That I thought was pretty decent for the most part. They're good. Also, Lola Vice defeats Fallon Henley in an okay match, but still, what the fuck were we doing? Fallon Influence and Fallon Henley there, Shawn Michaels. Gotta be quite honest, man. Also, Kelani Jordan, my favorite song, Women's Professional Wrestling, Miss Kelani Jordan, defeats Zaria, and discuss that. And by the way, she has a match at Battleground against Saruka for the NXT Women's North American Championship. We'll discuss that in preview predictions. This is a very fun match in Kelani Jordan and Zaria. And also discussing your main event. What are my notes here? Joe Hendry. He has a music, and Trick Williams had a musical battle. And Hendry ends the segment by hitting his guitar on Williams' back, in all honesty. And also, obviously, your NXT WWE Battleground 2025 preview and predictions on this very podcast. As always, thank you for watching. Nola, Miss Lucas, maybe. As always, going to say it's this week's NXT review for May 20th, 2025. I'm Nola, Miss Lucas. Starting with, you guys your NXT, I must keep saying NXT. It's not called your WWE Battleground 2025 preview and predictions. So I'm going to try basketball at match order. I've almost got backlash pretty right at the match order. Actually, going into it, it probably was right until WWE last minute changed that. So it's a different conversation for another day, I guess. Let's start with your more likely your opening match, but I'm not more likely. I'm actually kind of guessing this. Might be a hot take to some people. This is not a main event match. It could be an opening match at tops. As I'm discussing, Myles Borne be challenging for the NXT Championship and Oba Femi, like I said, for the NXT Championship. It's always the most predictable thing going in this show is this match. Like any other match, you probably see like a small chance of like being predictable. But this is obviously with the complete 100% predictable. Oba Femi is not dropping that NXT Championship to Myles Borne. I'll be fucking shocked shitless if Myles Borne beats Oba Femi for the NXT Championship. You know, that's not a good decision at all, Shawn Michaels. Well, we find out. But I'm pretty. Oba Femi not losing that title or Myles Borne. Let's be freaking real. He is not losing that championship to Myles fucking Borne. He's not that bad professional wrestler. I kind of like Myles Borne a lot. But him being Oba Femi will not be. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen in all honesty. So I'm going Oba Femi to retain his NXT Championship, his World Championship against Myles Borne for Battleground this Sunday. Moving on to Hank and Tank. Hank Walker and Tank Legend, the reigning defending NXT World Tag Team Champions, or just NXT Tag Team Champions in general. Another freaking voice crack. Hank and Tank have been Josh Briggs versus the Culling. Being Shawn Spears and his other members he got there. I'm not going to discuss them. I don't know. I don't even have their names, honestly. I get their names confused, people. What do you want me to say? But I'm going to Culling to win this match in a 6-man tag team match. This is probably more likely my freaking bathroom break. I gotta be honest, this might be my bathroom break. This isn't even a pre-show match, I'm not sure. Like I said, though, if there's a 6th match on the show, not a voice crack. Please let me know if it's Shawn Legacy and Ricky Saints, please, in the comment section on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast on Spotify. Please let me know, because if that's the case, I'm predicting Ricky Saints to retain that championship. He ain't losing that title, it's Shawn Legacy. Let's just be freaking real, people. But after the 6-man tag to Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs versus the Culling, I'm going to go to Culling to retain to beat the Hank, Tank, and also Josh Briggs in a 6-man tag team match. It's kind of be boring. It's probably, the mark could probably be in the pre-show, in all honesty. Moving on to Kelani Jordan, where she should be challenging Zaria for the NXT Women's North American Championship. I'm going so good to retain her championship. No reason why she's going to lose that title anytime soon. Especially since Kelani Jordan had a championship once before. And this woman should be built up to be maybe a challenger for Jordan Grace, spoiler alert, but other than being Stephanie McCurry, spoiler alert. Discuss that in a minute. But man, Kelani Jordan versus Zaria should be a fun match. She had a banger of one of the best women's matches of the year in 2024. At NXT Heatwave in 2024. That was just a freaking great match. Phenomenal match from both ladies. Do I think it'd be as good here? Probably not. You know, here's the reason why you can't do the one-up in themselves. They don't do that on much of anything. But I'm going with Zaria to retain her NXT Women's North American Championship on Sunday at Battleground. Moving on to a TNA World Championship match. It's kind of interesting to say the least. Trick Williams will be challenging Joe Hendry for a TNA World Championship, like I said. This might be a hot take to people, but I am going with Trick Williams to become a new TNA World Champion. Pause, people. I know, Lucas. You say Joe Hendry going to drop that championship to a non-TNA wrestler. Yes, I am. I did say that. You're correct. But my perspective, like seriously, if Trick Williams not going after the world title for Oba Femi, and especially going to be a heel with a dark state potential, not on the show, by the way, it's probably coincidental. I don't know, man. It should be interesting. Do we have Trick Williams beat Joe Hendry for a TNA World title? I don't know. It should be interesting to say the least. Keep you update on that. But I think this is going to be a fun match. Trick is always great, and so is Joe Hendry. So I think it's probably going to be, I don't want to say match of the night. It'd probably be like more likely Jordan Grace is setting that curve going into it. But it should be fun going in as well. I'm going with Trick Williams become a new TNA World Champion beating Joe Hendry in this match. Moving on to Tony D'Angelo versus Jan Stacks Lorenzo. But this also might be a hot take. I'm going Chan Stacks Lorenzo to beat Tony D'Angelo. This is not one and done, people. I'm having this go to another match. I see Tony D gets his umpteenth revenge. Probably in a stipulation, something like that. More than likely, that'll be the case. Once this is one and done, you probably have Tony D'Angelo win this match. We shall wait and find out. This should be a fucking decent. This should be a decent match. I don't want to say the F-bomb for no fucking reason. I gotta say it again, to say the least. But I'm going with Chan Stacks Lorenzo to beat Tony D'Angelo here. It should be a fun match for the most part. These two guys have a pretty fun feel going into it. Obviously, a epic stand delivery heel turn from Chan Stacks Lorenzo to Tony D'Angelo. It should be interesting, man. I'm going with Chan Stacks Lorenzo to beat Tony D'Angelo in this match at Battleground this Sunday on Peacock and WWE Battleground in Tampa, Florida. Memorial Day weekend. I'm going with Chan Stacks Lorenzo to beat Tony D'Angelo here. More likely, this match, at least I'll have this main event. Jordan Grace He's challenging Stephanie Vaquer, Lovely Jordan. I said Jordan Grace. I know Jordan Grace is Love Yourself. Stephanie Vaquer, lovely, dark angel, La Primera woman herself, Stephanie Vaquer. Jordan Grace will be challenging Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship. Later on, Jordan Grace win the championship and call up Stephanie to the main roster on Monday Night Raw. And that is what should be happening. That's what should be happening. Here, knock it on my door. I'm sorry about that. Okay, people. I had to fucking do like a mega, new recording here for some reason. I don't know why, because, man, people keep knocking on my door and doing shit, bro. I hate having to sell houses, man, because, man, oh, man, you can disturb me at any time in the middle of a fucking podcast recording, man. Unbelievable, especially you don't know about it in advance. So, yeah, I didn't do a record. But like I said, it's Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace. Well, back to business, shall we? Jordan Grace, in my opinion, should definitely dethrone Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship. Because, man, I think Stephanie should be called to the main roster. This should be happening, like I said before the hell of a hiccup there by people coming to my house. It's time to call up Stephanie to the main roster. She is obviously more than right to be called to the main roster. And main roster can definitely use her. And NXT got their own gals on there, like Jordan Grace, the really injured champion. You got Jada Parker. You got what else you got? You got Kelani Jordan, Zaria, women's North American champion, NXT. And Zaria as well. A lot of different women down there for sure. So you don't think Stephanie is fucking phenomenal. The best women's professional wrestler on the goddamn market. Obviously, definitely use her. Then definitely went a bad eyelash. In my opinion, Stephanie more likely needs the main roster more than NXT needs Stephanie. WWE main roster needs Stephanie more, is what I'm trying to say. So main roster, you definitely use Stephanie Vaquer, especially on Monday Night Raw and that brand. You got matches Monday Night Raw, you got Stephanie Vaquer. You got Rhea Ripley, you got Io Sky, the women's world champion, you got Bayley coming back, you got Becky Lynch, you got Lyra Valkyria, women's intercontinental champion. I mean, damn, that's a pretty good 6 woman right there, to say the least, man. So let's wait and find out. I'm bound to predict my predictions being Jordan Grace to retain or to be a new NXT Women's Champion, to say the least. To wrap up that, as I go over my predictions once again, I'm gonna have Myles Borne versus Oba Femi retain the NXT Championship. Tank versus Josh Briggs versus the Culling. I'm going with the Culling to win that. I'm going to Kelani Jordan versus Sol Ruka for the NXT Women's North American Championship. I'm going with Sol Ruka to win that. And Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry for a TNA World Championship. I'm going with Trick Williams becoming new TNA World Champion. I'm going with Tony D'Angelo versus Chance Stacks Lorenzo. And Chance Stacks Lorenzo getting the win. And more likely to hopefully remain event with Jordan Grace versus Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm going with Jordan Grace becoming a new NXT Women's Champion. So that is my WWE Battleground preview and predictions on this podcast. And I'll also get your NXT review for May 20th, 2025. I just still can't believe I still have a podcast doing. In the middle of my damn podcast, I had people literally coming in inside my house. They're obviously, because I'm selling the house, like I told y'all in the Raw review yesterday. I'm selling people selling my house and everything, a realtor and everything, you get the point. Let's get back to your NXT May 20th, 2025 review. Nola, Miss Lucas. Lucas, you're this whole podcast name NXT review for May 20th, 2025. Yeah, you've been told 12 minutes into this podcast, or 13 to be more specific. You haven't discussed any NXT for this week. Maybe because the show's fucking boring. But I like doing reviews now and again, man. I really do like doing reviews for NXT television. The show sucks half the time, or at least boring. Let's start with Shawn Legacy. The new NXT superstar defeats Ashante the Adonis and Javon Evans to start the show. And I'm a contendership for the NXT North American Championship, and Ricky Saints the champion right now. Let me get a C+. Like I said, I don't know if this match is confirmed for Battleground or anything. And if that's the case, Ricky Saints is not losing that championship anytime soon. He ain't losing that title to Shawn Legacy, people. Let's be freaking real, man. He ain't losing that title to Shawn Legacy. And the major freaking voice crack, go fucking figure, man. But this Shawn Legacy and defeating Ashante the Adonis and Javon Evans match is pretty okay from us. We give it a C+. Not great grade though, in all honesty. Be honest, the worst grades though, the next two matches. Shawn Spears defeats Josh Briggs. C-. What the flying fuck was the point of this, Shawn Michaels? Other than to build up the calling and tank against Josh Briggs. But do you seriously give a fucking shit about this? I know I freaking don't. I know I fucking don't. This show, man. Oh my god. I know it's developmental, I get that. But man, like, who the fuck cares to see Shawn Spears and Josh Briggs in a match? C- is your fucking grade. Moving on to OTM, Out of Mud. Defeat Chase U. Another! You gotta make this up. C-. Oh my fucking god, man. Back to back C-, man. You wonder why I can't stand this show. I know it's developmental, people. I get it. It's developmental. I understand that totally. But man, like, who the fuck cares? Your go home edition to Battleground this Sunday on Peacock and all PLE. You have the fucking Out of the Mud members taking on Chase University. Who fucking cares? C- is your fucking grade, man. Seriously. Moving on to Oba Femi. At least it ends the C- drought, right? Oba Femi, the reigning defending NXT World Champion. And Myles Borne had one last confrontation before their upcoming NXT Championship match at Battleground this Sunday on Peacock and all PLE. This is actually good for the most part. Gave it a B. Best grade in the show, tied for best grade in the three-way tie. Again, to the other two in a minute. This is a B. This is actually pretty good for the most part. Obviously, Myles Borne is not being Oba Femi. You know, I said in the previous predictions of this podcast. You're not going to have Myles Borne beat Oba Femi the world for the NXT Championship. You know, Myles Borne is freaking a very good professional wrestler. I get that. But you're not going to have Oba Femi drop that title to Myles Borne, of all people, the North Korea catch crew. That's just not going to happen. This gives a beat on a pretty fun promo with segment between these two men. Give it a B. Moving on to Lola Vice. I'm thinking it's not very fan of Lola Vice whatsoever, in all honesty. Not a fan at all. Lola Vice defeats Fallon Henley. C+ is your grade. Decent match, but dude, what the fuck are we doing with Fallon Henley and the Fatal Influence? Are they breaking up JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix? Or at least Fallon Henley going back to a babyface around later? In that case, I don't mind that. But what the fuck are we doing here? What was the point of this one, Shawn Michaels? It was a decent match. What was it? Probably I'd rather this than OTM and Chase University and Shawn Spears and Josh Briggs. This is a different position for another day, I guess, right? But dude, what are we doing with Fallon Henley? She's taking L after L after L after L after L after L after L. Ever since losing that NXT Women's North American Championship to Fallon to Stephanie Vaquer at Vengeance Day. Like, what the fuck are we doing with the Fatal Influence, man? She even gotten a win and ever since then, you know, fucking no one. C+ is your grade. Moving on to Kelani Jordan. One of my favorites non-women's professional wrestlers is Miss Kelani Jordan. She defeats Zaria. It's time for best grade of the show, a B. This was pretty fun, dude. A pretty fun match with Kelani Jordan and Zaria. I love both of them. You know how much I love Kelani. She is fucking great. So it's nice to see her getting a winner on her belt again. Back to her win ways. I love to see that for her. Obviously, better rather have her be challenging for the world title, not the mid-card title for NXT. Hey, at least Kelani got a fucking W on her belt. We should probably be grateful for that, shall we? But this gets a B. I don't like Zaria taking an L here, especially if she's the one that dethroned. So we'll go for the NXT Women's North American Championship, maybe as a heel nonetheless. But still, you can take it, I can definitely take this at this rate. Kelani Jordan defeated Zaria is no great baby. I want to go to rapid fire speed because, man, I'm going to get this review all published, man, because that really pissed me off. Because I'm mad. I got more people coming to my house at 5:15 tonight. Right now it's 3:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Syracuse, New York, also the East Coast. Like, dude, I'd rather just upload and Danny if we have to worry about that bullshit to say the least. This gets to be between Kelani Jordan and Zaria. For my little bit of a pen there, I'm sorry about that. Moving on to your main event segment. Hendry, the reigning defending TNA World Champion, and Trick Williams have a musical battle, and then Hendry ends the segment by hitting his guitar and Williams another freaking voice crack in the middle of that. What else is fucking new, man, in this podcast? It's also the tie for the best grand of the show, a three-way tie with Kelani Jordan, Zaria, and Myles Borne and Oba Femi confrontation for the NXT Championship. This gets all give a B. I actually quite like this a lot for main event. I kind of like this a lot, to say the least. It's making more history for Hendry, being a TNA World Champion, having a chance for defending that title against Trick Williams at Vengeance Day. Where the fuck did that come from? At Battleground this Sunday. I didn't mind this segment. What makes me just think, what's my perspective on previous predictions, when I said Trick Williams was going to beat Hendry for a TNA World title. Like, I think that because Hendry got his revenge here, his upper hand here. I think Trick Williams gets umpteenth revenge, and being Hendry becoming the new TNA World Champion. And I think the Dark State help out Trick Williams, and Trick Williams doesn't need to go heel. He looks like much of a heel in this segment. He looks like very big of a heel in this segment for sure. Perhaps this segment's would be as the overall show for NXT May 20th, 2025. It's an all grade of C+. I know, 8 minutes on your whole full-fledged review. I know, people. I'm sorry. The pre-and predictions and the intro were more longer than this whole review. What do you want me to say? This show's freaking boring. Plus, there's stuff to discuss at the Battleground pre-and predictions and also the intro and freaking to attend. People come in my house, but it's a different conversation for another day, people. Nobody broke into my house, to say the least. Nobody did that. It's just, I'm selling my house, and then the guy, the realtor, gave the keys to the people at Craig guess for some weird reason, I guess. It's business you don't need to know, to say the least. You kind of knew that, but whatever, man. I'm going to stop talking for right now. And hope I'll see you later today for AEW Dynamite May 21st, 2025. Hopefully, knock on wood. Knock down my love. You know how much I love doing that shit, man. Thank y'all for watching. No, Mr. Lucas at WWE NXT May 20th, 2025 review today, May 22nd, 2025. And like I said, hopefully, knock on wood, you can be back later today for AEW Dynamite May 21st, 2025 review. Nola, Mr. Lucas. Until today or tomorrow for more content, Nola, Mr. Lucas on YouTube, obviously. Peace out, everybody. Take care. And by the way, go follow my social media, Twitter, Lucas Eon, Instagram, Nola, Mr. Lucas. Lucas Eon on Instagram and Twitter. Nolan, Mr. Lucas on Facebook. I just published a lot more podcasts up on that. I got plenty of time to do that. And also TikTok as well, Nolan, Mr. Lucas, and patreon.com/Nolan, Mr. Lucas as well. Alright, I'm out. Peace and love, everybody. Take care. Love y'all big time, to say the least.